You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver media podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and the Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. Well, good morning and hello, kids, and welcome to Season 3 and episode number 137 of the Daily Beaver here on the Crier Media Network. Today, recording day is Thursday, June 8th, 2023, and it's not a bright sunny day here at the Beaver Lodge, finally. It's gray. I don't think it is smoke because I can actually see clouds, but it's still not going to be great today. So, don't get too comfortable. I'm your host, the Eager Beaver, pronouns he, him, hey, Mr. Beaver, hey, and with me as always is my dear friend, Mr. Grizzly, looking very, very interesting. It's like the upside down trident.
Yes, indeed, yes.
Mercury's doing some synchronized swimming.
Well, I can do this. Look, watch.
Oh my God. Oh my God, you can make him dance. Oh, if you are listening at home, I cannot begin to describe this. You really do have to come and see the video.
Have to check it out. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Oh wow.
A lot of wax. Holy crap! I got to put a lot of wax in this.
that's it's like an upside down Lisa Simpson, maybe.
Sure.
I don't. It reminds me of a cartoon character from but I think it's like from French cartoons, French Canadian cartoons. I can't remember who. But oh my God, yeah. Let's just say it brings it evokes childhood memories.
Took a lot of effort.
I can imagine. Wow.
Barbut. I'm a barbut vibe. Barbut.
Barbut, as in like the fish.
Catfish. Barbut.
Yeah. Whiskers. We have a Thursday morning nibble for you, and if you are wondering about the T-shirt kitties, this was over here, 2010. If people remember some of the pub chats, and sometimes we talk a little bit personally, I talk about the best 240 pounds I ever lost.
Right.
Well, when that happened, that year, I treated myself to a trip to Paris and to the French Open, and because it was happening on my birthday, so I had French Open and duck in Paris on my birthday. Because after X number of months with whatever, I deserved that. So, and I got this T-shirt there, and I'm wearing it because right now, as we speak, and this is how much I love you, kitties. Bianca Andreescu is on the courts playing for the final mixed doubles Grand Slam final, and I'm here with you.
Wow, that's
That's how much
dedication.
I love you.
That would be dedication.
But ooh, so I watched the first set, and they were twice very close to being 2 games down, and they rallied and won the first set. So halfway to a Grand Slam title, and I've got it on pause, and I am waiting to see the rest after we finish the show. So nobody, please give me any spoilers. But yeah, I'm cheering. I'm wearing the gear, and it's authentic gear because I bought it there.
Cool.
um, all right, Mr. Grizzly. Let's say good morning
Yes.
to you and ask how's your mental health today.
Good morning, Mr. Beaver. Mental health, I think, is pretty good. I'm just really tired. I slept 6.5 hours, and I don't feel like I slept at all. I don't know
Oh,
why. I don't know. Just one of those things. Just one of those things, Sometimes I looked at my sleep monitor, and it's like you it was mostly light sleep, like almost no deep sleep and very little REM. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I don't feel like I really rested at all. So yeah,
oh.
there you go. It happens. I'll get through it. I always do. You know,
Well, for me, I'm surprised that I'm actually up and so chipper because dress rehearsal last night.
how'd that go?
So good.
Oh, good, excellent. That's good to hear.
So good. We had a nice audience for it. We had some people who volunteer at food banks
Oh, cool.
come over, and so we had a pretty good sizable audience for a dress rehearsal. They were with us all the way. Really generous, beautiful, wonderful audience. So thank you, thank you, thank you. A couple of things that we need to fix. One In one scene, I'm wearing a pair of pants under a pair of pants because the costume changes are so fast that I don't have time to take a pair of pants off and then put another pair of pants on.
Double
But
pants.
to show that I'm not wearing another pair of pants, I have them tucked in my socks underneath so that they don't show out the bottom. And I took the first pair of pants off and I forgot to take the other pair of pants out of my socks. So it looked like I just got there on bike for an
So
entire scene.
that's why you have a dress rehearsal, though.
Yeah. If the reviewer happened to be there at the time of the dress rehearsal, I think that will probably make it into the critique.
I mean, dress rehearsal and opening night are different, right? Dress
Yeah.
rehearsal, it's like it's a rehearsal. You make a mistake, it's no big deal. You move on.
Yep. Yep. But other than that, everything went well. And everything went well for everyone.
Okay,
So, yeah, we have a show. Pretty excited about it. Pretty excited about it. All right.
excellent.
Yes. Okay, Kits. In the news, always a lot going on. It seems that there's just way too much news. But we'll start with a slight wildfire update. Um, for air quality, if you're living in eastern central Ontario and Quebec, this, and of course in the United States all the way down to the Carolinas, will probably be the worst day yet, and maybe the worst day that the modelers can see so far coming. Air quality estimates are at the high risk level throughout the weekend, which will affect millions in this area. Armel Castellan, who's a warning preparedness meteorologist for Environment Canada and Climate Change Canada, says that what's happening is that all the smoke is getting caught in the jet stream and there's winds pushing from the north southwards. Um, so there's a final push this morning, and the projection models are indicating a particularly dense plume is coming. So if you're living in those areas, so Ottawa, Kingston, Belleville, anywhere in that area going down to the GTA and the Golden Horseshoe. The forecast is so dangerous that particulate levels may be at all-time record highs for this area of the nation. And if you see ash fall, don't be surprised. Uh,
Uh,
the weather pattern is expected to shift eastward by the end of the weekend, but that doesn't, I mean, it'll get lighter, but it doesn't necessarily mean it will be better for going out or, having activities. So please make sure that you stay home. For the Ottawa region today, the air quality is at 10 plus, so that is very bad, very very bad.
but
Cities as Bell,
I
City,
don't
Belleville.
understand why they're saying that though. The skies are just cloudy. Like there's no smoke today.
Yeah, but there's going to be this big, like I said,
Oh,
this big
later on.
push. Yeah,
Okay.
coming. Yeah,
Because currently it's
based on model projections, because there's just so much going on in Quebec, and the wind is going to be so strong. It seems
okay.
that
Because
it's going
this
to.
is the first time I can actually see anything in the city.
Yeah,
Like literally, I can see in the distance. I'll put it on. Hang
yeah,
on, give me a sec. I'll show you.
same here.
Oh yeah, you're also able to see
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
clearly
can
today.
see clouds.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that in days. So, huh. The buildings in the background I couldn't see like
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah, yeah.
So
They
I
weren't
guess
built.
so we've got a little
So
bit of
there's
breathing room for the time being, is what you're saying.
exactly there's another big dense plume that is
Okay.
expected to arrive. So yeah, 10 plus, which is they have no higher rating.
Yeah, that's as high as it gets.
So Ottawa, Belleville, Kingston, Dr. Vera Etches of Public Health Ottawa, who you may remember during COVID.
Heard it once or twice.
Um, yeah, she says her quote is: "Respiratory conditions went up steeply that first 24 hours as the small particulate matter count went up and the air quality worsened. Hopefully, people are calibrating their activities and won't see that continue to grow. But really, it would not be unexpected, unfortunately." There are still 414 wildfires burning throughout Canada. 239 of them are considered out of control. 21,000 people have been evacuated are currently evacuated throughout the nation. In Quebec, fire bombers have been in use so much that fire just pilot fatigue is making it so that only 11 of the
Mhm.
13 of them are in use as of about 12 hours ago, with Premier Legault going saying we cannot expect that all aircraft will be able to fly full time every day. So we're getting at that point now as well, where people are getting tired and burnt out, and no end in sight.
What's I haven't checked because I've been tired.
Yeah,
What's the status in Alberta right now with their wildfires in Nova Scotia? I have no idea what's going on right now.
it's sort of like it's still happening, but because the ones in Quebec are so huge, it's getting pushed off. It's like
The news
meanwhile in
radar.
Alberta, that's still continuing, and
Oh, okay.
here's where things are, because
Not
I haven't
finding
heard
anything.
anything in the last day or two on the updates
Yeah. Okay.
whatsoever.
Neither have
And
I.
the ones
So
from up north stopped also out of the blue, and BC also stopped out of the blue. So I don't know what the situations there are like. It just we stopped hearing about them. So either if they're not out, they're at least under control. Would be my guess that they're not spreading. They've either built the firewalls around and they're able, it's in a
to
contained area
contain
or
it. Yeah.
something for now.
The
But
uh, the conspiracy theories are flying left, right, and center. Like, and you know who the head stochastic terrorist himself started all of this by saying it was started by you. Well, he didn't start it actually; it was started before that. But he pushed that agenda along, and when you hear it in the House of Commons from the official leader of the official opposition, people tend to start believing it, which is just oh my.
yeah,
You know,
uh,
his parliamentary privilege needs to be suspended. He needs to be censured because he is going to get people killed. He probably already has, and he just doesn't give a shit. He
no.
doesn't care.
Well, the other thing that's bothering me about him is I've mentioned it before, but it's the manner in which he is using Parliament.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Plenty of times now he's brought in props. He's been in there for about 18 years. He knows the rules.
Yeah.
I mean, he's literally from the university debating club right into parliament.
Yeah.
He knows the rules. Bringing props, making insinuations, allegations. The latest one, I know there's a clip for it, but journalists are asking him, when you mentioned that thing about the school, what did you mean? It's like, well, I said what I mean. I think we played it,
Yeah, we did.
didn't
We
we?
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said what we mean. So again, says something without saying it. Says something in the house, but then where he has privilege, and then uses that as a clip. Because I'm
Yeah.
guessing if you take something that was said under privilege in the house and you disseminate it, it's still under privilege.
I don't
Maybe.
know.
I don't know about the rules about that, but seems to be acting like that. And the latest one now is the alleged filibuster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. PeePee was doing a big 900 amendments were introduced to the budget.
900.
900, right?
Just
Trying,
rewrite the budget altogether,
yep,
basically.
just trying to slow down. And then he says, I'm going to stand up in the House and then I'm going to talk and I'm going to keep talking. This is how he frames it until the government yields to our demands. Again, let us remind you that the composition of the House of Commons at the moment is such that the Conservatives cannot vote anything down
Mhm.
unless it has the help of at least two other parties.
And none of them are going to help them.
The Bloc Québécois, with which it seems to have a convenient coalition
Yeah.
when it comes to things like making sure that electoral reform fails, and when it comes to, well, not wanting to expose themselves to intelligence. It has levels. Um, they're working with them in that instance, but other than that, they need the Bloc and they need the NDP. And the budget is, by definition, a confidence measure, and the NDP have a confidence and supply agreement. So they go like, Pierre Poilievre is fighting. Girl, he ain't fighting for shit.
No. You know what he's fighting
This
for?
is literally an attempt.
Power.
He says that this is an attempt to make the government fall because the budget's a confident measure. If the budget gets voted down, the government falls, which sends us into an election while we are still dealing with all that election interference, which is supposedly so terrible and awful that we need to do something about right now. And isn't it terrible that Justin Trudeau didn't do anything about it right now? And we really should do about that. But first, an election. Girl, don't pee on my leg. Do
It's
not
what he's
pee
doing.
on my leg.
It's exactly what he's doing.
This
Just
guy
trying
ain't
to
doing
show.
anything. And then number two, government has already indicated that it is going to invoke closure because unlike the United States, where filibuster means a completely different thing,
Hmm.
it has completely different rules. So basically, this filibuster where he was going to keep on talking would probably last a maximum of 5 hours.
Yeah.
And this guy's already filibustered more than that beforehand. I think Lisa Raitt said on a previous Power in Politics or something, he had done it for 4 days at one point.
Really?
So yeah, so here we have a man, the man in Canada, other than probably Kevin O'Leary, who loves the sound of his own voice more than anything, is going to fight to take down the government by speaking. And not only speaking, but speaking in the House of Commons for 5 hours straight, or 3 to 5 hours straight, where he has parliamentary privilege, where everything's caught on camera, where he can then take those things and make clips, where he's going to push them all over the internet. So basically, Canada, what just happened is that Pierre Poilievre, Captain Shortpants, abused again of Parliament and all of our tax dollars to stage an infomercial where he stood up and said, but wait, there's more, but wait, there's more, but wait, there's more for 3 to 5 hours. I don't know how long it is because I'm in a play right now. I got stuff to do. From which he is going to grab clips and promote himself. Now, I don't know how much it costs to run Parliament per hour.
It ain't going to be cheap.
And all for the supposed, PP air quotes, purpose of making sure that the government takes his demands and puts them into legislation, or else he will vote down the budget with the help of absolutely no one when he's absolutely politically impotent in the House. He is wasting your time. He is wasting your money. You are paying for this.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to
You are
remember
paying for
that.
this. And
He
this
he is a
apparently is
paid
not
employee.
this is not inflationary spending, though.
No. Everybody seems to forget that he is our paid employee. I didn't hire him, but I still got to pay him.
Yeah, get saucy. It pales in comparison to a woman in Texas who filibustered for over 19 hours and had a catheter inserted in her leg to stop an abortion bill from being passed.
Yeah, slightly different.
But like the framing, right? I'm going to go there and I'm not going to stop until when you know the closure is going to be invoked and it's literally going to be maximum 3 to 5 hours.
Yeah. It's just more hot air out of a giant hot air machine.
Poser Pierre. Poser Pierre. He's a poser.
I've been saying for the longest time, he won't last this summer. Watch me be proven right. If I'm not right, I'll be very surprised.
I'd like to think so. My whole question comes back in, with who do they replace him? With who? I mean, there's tons of other carbon copies, but like this, I mean, he has this anti-charisma for us that's somewhat charismatic for all the people that are flying the F Trudeau flags.
Well, it's because they're Trumpers, right? I mean, these are the same people who would vote for Trump and say they're
Yeah,
proud Republicans, but they forget
but
they live in Canada.
Trump has a weird charisma. Like even though Trump is like a train wreck I see happening in slow motion and I don't want to watch, but I can't help but watch.
Admit it,
Him, I
he
don't
does
want to
have
watch. I
charisma.
can't stand hearing him.
Yeah, he does have some charismatic elements to him, whereas Pierre has nothing. He's milk toast Millhouse, and that's being generous. He's anti charisma.
I mean, he doesn't have the Danielle Smith thing,
No, no, no.
right? That
He
whole
has
thing
no
where she makes you
personality.
feel like the most important person in the room, and she makes everything just sound oh so reasonable and friendly.
Well, it's because she's media trained, right? Whereas
He's got one mode, dick.
yeah,
It's just,
limp dick. Let's be specific here. Limp dick.
well, you know,
Just
when
just just got out of the pool.
Lachlan says raging cock,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
except it's micro
K
penis, but still raging.
KAWK rhymes with hawk, spelt with a K. Remove the H, put in a K.
An RMP, raging micropene. Anyway, so much rage, so little body. Anyway, I. Uh, so yeah, he's basically using us. I mean, and it goes into the
That's
same
all he
theme, the
does.
way that he's been campaigning for his next job while not doing any work. What conservatives, we learned that with the economic action scam thing, Harper, when we saw all those billboards and then they were announcing programs that weren't in it. The conservatives are the best at diverting public funds and using them for partisan purposes. Because all the carbon tax fights, they
Mm-hmm.
know they're going to lose them when they get to the Supreme Court. They know it when they start, but they do it anyway because it's about like 10 years of fundraising by the time
Oh
they
yeah.
start fitting it. And they put all the money, that's all your tax dollars at work, all the money they put into fighting that in court and getting studies to disprove what like 99% the same thing that they do for like safe consumption sites, right? 99% of the studies on harm reduction say it works, but they want to try that. They're going to pump money into finding that one study that says it can't, but they can build something around. So they've got money for that because it's our money. That's money that should be coming from party funds, which we also generally and very generously subsidize because of the political donation tax credit. But so it's like they are literally downloading partisan party promotion expenses to us and just saying well, no, we're providing governance. No, you're not.
Mm.
No, you're not. when when you know full well that the government has full capacity to put in regulation for carbon, and you take that through the 3 levels of court and you bill it to us and then fundraise off that, and then we subsidize whatever percentage of that fundraising dollars that you get as well. That's a PR expense. That's not
Yeah.
governance.
Can we send him a bill? Can we charge his office? I mean, it's still coming out of our pocket no matter what. But
Now, all parties do it somewhat, but nobody does it like conservatives.
yeah,
I mean, they even like try interesting schemes like In and Out, which make it such that they have to plead guilty into court to doing
yeah,
that type of things to save 4 people's butts out of jail, including 2 senators at the time. I mean, these are the people we're dealing with, and then they say everybody else is corrupt.
well, you mentioned Danielle Smith a few minutes ago because she has charisma, right? And she knows how to work a microphone. She worked in radio for a long time, but I don't think she ever went to history class. I don't think she ever attended history class. Here's why. If we look at this tweet from D-Day, June 6th,
Oh boy.
on this day, June 6th, we remember the bravery and sacrifice of Canadian and Allied troops who landed on Normandy beaches 79 years ago. And here's where it gets interesting, and here's the history lesson, marking the beginning of the Second World War. We pay tribute to the heroic efforts on the anniversary of D-Day. No, 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 no. That was not the beginning of World War II. June 6, 1944. They'd been fighting for 5 years at that point. The war started in 1939. It did not start in 1944. Now, I get that, maybe you could make a mistake in typing that, but wouldn't you?
You have people for this.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have.
June 6, 1944 was not the beginning of World War II. It was the beginning of the end of World War II.
Mr. Grizzly, ask me why I'm knocking my head against the microphone.
Why are you knocking your head against the microphone, Mr.
Because
Beaver?
it feels so good when I stop.
Why start?
Girl,
Yeah, I know. It's just
you're hurting me.
I
This is where I'd
still.
like to have Hugh here.
Yeah.
Hugh. It's like, kid Hugh, here's what Danielle said. Now, please tell us why she's wrong.
Feel free. Take your time. Take your time. We got all the time in the world for this one because holy sheep shit.
Please tell us all the ways she's right. Oh God. That's like Sarah Palin with the Paul Revere thing. Remember? She went
I
to the
don't
Paul Revere
recall.
Museum and they asked her what she said, and then she like said this whole thing that wasn't actually true, and then she complained that it was a gotcha question. And then somebody turned around and says, it's like, Sarah, it's not a gotcha question because the question got ya. They literally, she was on vacation. She went to the Paul Revere Museum and they actually asked her, it's like, so what did you think? And then she tried to give this historical based answer, which was wrong.
Of course it was. Well, so
And
Daniel
then when she was
Smith.
told she was wrong, it's like, oh yeah, it was you. Well, you asked me a gotcha question. It's like,
Oh,
what did you think?
well, Daniel Smith did what conservatives do and cut the budget. She cut the firefighting budget for fighting wildfires, right?
Uh-huh.
Who else did that? What other premier of a province did that that's currently on fire? Oh,
Oh,
it would have been Doug Ford.
yeah,
Yeah,
16% or something.
yeah, and you know why he did it? Here's why he did it. According to this is from Barney Parnofsky's Best Intentions. Dear my friends, it is so smoky in Ontario and Ottawa today. I had problems breathing, Breetting, when making work calls 24/7 from my sea-doo at the cottage. And that is why it is so smart for me to build an indoor beach with massage tables at Ontario Place because of climate, CLIMUTT change. Premier, PREMAIR. Here's the thing. Barney Parnofsky's best intentions. He always writes the best satire. But the thing is, sometimes the satire hits so close to home. It's like, I could almost hear Doug writing this out. And, that's Doug's inner thought right there.
Doug's first drafts.
Yes, yeah, Doug's first draft. That is why it is so smart for me. Not, it's like he cut the budget by millions. And now he's going to and we're subsidizing the province. Like this is happening, whether we want it to or not. It's already been like everybody's decrying it. The city of Toronto's trying to shut it down. And he's basically going, no, I'm doing it anyway. $650 million of our money is going to build a private for-profit spa that most Ontarians won't even be able to afford to go to. Taking public lands that was dedicated by John Robarts, the greatest premier the province ever had, a progressive conservative who built public space for public use, all going to disappear for a
Yep.
private for-profit foreign-owned entity.
Yep.
Kind of like how Mike Harris sold off our toll highway to a Spanish company. And they were supposed to pay a penalty last year for what, 2 or 3 billion? And Doug, no, don't worry about it.
I think it was $1 billion. Yeah.
A
And
billion,
Doug just waived
billion.
it.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
And then went to Trudeau and said, can I ask money for healthcare?
What's the T-shirt that was available in the Crier Media merchant? Fuck you, Doug. Banners,
You had
T-shirts.
$1 billion right there.
You had it. All you had to do was collect it. And you're a mob boss. You act like a mob boss. You should be able to collect on a debt.
Oh.
Right? He acts like a mob boss all the time. And don't a lot of his, allegedly a lot of his private for-profit investors that purchase land along the highway he's going to build that very few people want, to build houses for Ontarians that none of which we can afford because they're going to be giant McMansions in the middle of nowhere with no transit, no services, just for the wealthy. And a lot of those developers are, what's the rumor? I'm not going to say the rumor, but it starts with an M. Rhymes with Afia. I'm just saying. No names. Not making an accusation. I've heard a rumor, and I'm asking a question. I'm going to need more wax in my mustache. Look at it. It's fallen all over the place. It must be the humidity. I don't know, man.
See, now I'm going to have like a totally June Pride moment. You just like put Bananaramas, I heard a rumor in my head.
I heard a rumor. I don't think they sing it that way.
I heard a rumor.
I'll do a Cake version of I heard a rumor. Remember Cake with their
Oh,
I Will
yes.
Survive?
Yeah.
I love that version because I could do that one.
Yeah.
At first I was afraid. I was petrified. I can do that version.
Because, and now you say rumors. Now I have like the Timex Social Club.
Oh.
Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day.
We're going right back to the 80s with this.
Yeah, Charlie, you sent me right back to the 80s. Oh my God. Okay. I know you have a hard out, so let's do a little bit of fun stuff here. Fun little things that appeared on the Twitter. Some Canadians reacting to PeePee's budget stuff. We have Greg McGillis. Let's see if I can get that a little bigger. There we go. Greg McGillis, can you say pointless grandstanding? I knew you could. Constapiece theta. And then, more useful than much what else he does, keeps him off Twitter for a few hours. We approve. Mike Morris, you left out the part where a time limit on the bill was passed yesterday, so it will pass and nothing Poliver can do except stomp his wee feet and whine about it for 5 hours? Civics! I'm gonna fight for you and I won't stop until, what time limit? Okay.
Oh, I have a thing at that time where I got to see somebody about a place and a guy.
Yes. And
I'd
then
never been to Belize.
Never been to Belize. And then this one, Eva Chipmunk. 2 hours and going, Pierre Poliver says he is, quote, speaking for those kids who have no voice. I don't recall those kids with no voice asking him to speak on their behalf.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not needed there, darling. Poodle, just calm down. Calm down.
Well, so every time they trot out, and they've been using this meme a lot lately because they have nothing. They keep trotting out the blackface, right, constantly.
Yep.
I've noticed people have started piling on and go, "Oh yeah, yeah, that was like 20 some years ago." Okay, it was never right, but it was not as frowned upon 20 years ago as it is today. Right? It was
Mm.
not. I wouldn't say it was socially acceptable, but it was tolerated
See,
20 plus years ago.
I guess so. See, that's interesting because being part black, I never remember a day in my entire life, 50 years on this planet, where that was considered okay.
Well, no, that's what I said. It was never considered okay, but it was tolerated 20 plus years
Yeah.
ago. And I always thought it was wrong, always. But Sarah Fisher defended it, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So I've noticed each time they trot out the blackface photos and memes, other people have said, yeah, what about, but wait a second here. She defended this 2 years ago. There she is. That's her, Sarah Fisher, right there in blackface, 2 years ago, defending it.
Hmm?
He has made amends and apologized and said, I had a blind spot. I didn't realize. She
And the life
defended,
that he's led since.
yes, and the life that he's led since. She defended wearing blackface.
Yep.
She is what, the comms person for the
Yep.
Conservative Party?
Yep. Hong Kong. Drink water out of a box.
Oh, I almost exploded with a "see you next Tuesday" comment there because
Yep. I hear you. I hear you, my friend. Yeah. You know what? There are two. That one, and with regard to Doug Ford using the word fat in anything, because so many times I just want to say you fat fuck.
yeah,
Pardon my
yeah.
language. But
Mhm.
I say that about thin or fat, right?
Yeah,
It's not the person, it's how big of a fuck you are. Right? Who the fat applies to. But given he is big
yeah,
man,
yeah. I know.
I refrain from using it
Yeah,
because that's just, but
because then it becomes descriptive of his physical appearance,
well, again,
whereas
it's putting noise in the message,
right,
right? It gives something that somebody else can jump upon that makes you talk. Why are you calling that? Well, that's not the point of my message. But now I'm going to focus on that to take you off because
yeah,
what you're saying is hitting too close to home, and I don't want you talking about that. Which is
he's
another
just a
trick
giant
people
a
use.
hole.
That's another social media trick, people. If you are being particularly effective, if somebody wants you're writing something and they talk about like the thing that's completely irrelevant in the thing that you wrote, that's because what you just wrote is hitting close to home and they want you to stop saying it. So they're trying to pull you off. Never, 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 ever, 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 ever get distracted from the primary objective. All right. So I know you have a heart out, Mr. Grizzly. So before we do the exit, I got a couple of pictures from the show. If you want for
Oh,
the kids,
mhm.
the kids. So yeah, there you go. Stage makeup. So this is how you end up looking 15 years younger. Lots of pancake makeup, fill in the cracks,
That's
take
a
off
lot
the
of
beard,
makeup.
and dye the hair. And there we go. If you're wondering what this big thing on my head is that's what happens when you take it out.
Jeez, I wouldn't even recognize you.
Yep. So, and then from a couple of scenes from the play, these are my colleagues, Martha and Bill. Martha, I'm hoping maybe to get on an interview. She would. She's actually a law professor at Queen's and a neuroscientist
Oh,
and an actress and will be directing next year and does yoga. And she's like Superwoman.
no shit.
She's incredibly impressive. Um, and then my Lisa and Lynn, who I've been in play with before. She's a wonderful lady. And then Scott, who is an incredible comedic actor and can surprise you with his dramatic depth. So, and Bill in the first picture was when we went to the Eastern Ontario Drama League finals last November. He's the one that ended up winning Best Actor in a Comedy for the whole festival. So, very, I've got a cast of mates who are just so freaking amazingly good. I really, really, really had to up my game for this one. So, yeah, we've got a show and we got a nice one. So, if you're in Kingston, Domino Theater, Thursdays to Saturdays from now till the 24th. Today's opening night. Please buy a ticket. Tell your friends if you have people who live here. if they're looking for something fun to do, because the arts need a little bit of support. Okay, Mr. Grizzly, do we have a show?
Yes, we do. I just need to make two quick mentions. I will see you Saturday, obviously, because Bridget and I are coming down. Do we have? Do you need to set tickets aside for us, or what's the dealio with that? Like,
I can, yeah, I can do that.
yeah, like we're happy to pay for them. I just want to make sure we have them. Is all.
Yep, 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 absolutely. I can do that. All
Cool.
right.
And then I want to show this thing. Give me a sec here while I share the screen for this. So there is a protest happening here in Ottawa this weekend, apparently on Friday. Um, and Billboard Chris will be there. And they were asking if Pierre Polyev will join him. And Billboard Chris says, no, he's part of the problem. He voted to criminalize parents who try to help their child feel comfortable with their sex. They can go to jail for conversion therapy. So it
Ooh.
looks like Skippy has lost some of his fringe base because I guess this Billboard Chris fellas, I think the protest is about gender affirmation, or I don't even know what it's for. But they're, of course, they're choosing it during Pride Month to do it, right? Because
Yes.
and Viva Frey will be there apparently with the plebe. So I don't know what any of that means, but I'm going to be busy doing other things on Friday, like working and earning a living. So I won't be able to attend their rant
Mm,
because I have a job and responsibilities, and I have to
yes.
earn a living
Yes.
by working for the money that I earn
Mm-hmm.
and not grifting people, so I can stand out in the street with a billboard around me and asking for handouts.
Yeah.
Get a
I'm
fucking job, asshole.
I'm washing my hair, and in case the following day's a rain day, I'm conditioning it.
There you go. See, good choice.
Busy.
Yeah.
Lots to do.
Lots
Sorry.
to do. Lots to
Just
do.
kid. Sorry.
Karima will be
That's
there
right.
to document it. So, for those of you who are wondering, so this could be
Ugh,
interesting.
I don't know how she does it,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. She puts up with way more crap than I could because you know me,
man.
I'd be losing it.
The woman has the patience of a saint.
Yes, she does.
Ugh.
Okay, let's wrap
All
it
right.
up. I got to get to the office.
Okay, kids, that's the end of this episode of the Daily Beaver podcast. We hope you love listening to us because we love making this for you. Remember that sharing is caring and word of mouth is priceless. Let your peeps know about us because democracy is something that you do. Please donate to Mr. Grizzly's shave. So we're raising money for Cornerstone Housing for Women. Our initial goal was $1,000. Hopefully, we've surpassed that by now.
I think we
Please
have.
remember to send us. We have.
I think we have. I think we have. Don't. I haven't. I'm not going to say we have yet, but I think we have. I just got to double check because I did get. We did get an email. I don't know if you checked the Eager Beaver account. We got an email yesterday with a donation for 175. So,
Oh wow.
and I forget the name of the donator. My apologies, but thank you very much. I did send a response email saying thank you. We really do appreciate it. So, we are well on our way. I think we're hit. I think we've surpassed the $1,000 goal. So, anything raised beyond this is like great, awesome.
Okay, excellent. Just for the email account, we'll talk to you later because I you need to do something to let me have access to it again for some reason.
Oh, yeah. You know what? There,
Yeah,
I got a note that somebody tried to access it
yeah,
from
that,
somewhere,
that
and
was me.
yeah. Okay.
um, okay, all right. Let's see what else. If you like this podcast, you can find us on all media, on the Choir Media Network and all Grizzly friendly platforms. Stars and reviews are appreciated. We'd love to hear from you. True North Eager Beaver at gmail.com is where you would do that. At True Eager on Twitter or our Facebook page, True North Eager Beaver. We'd love to hear from you, so please. Or leave a comment. We're now on Vimeo as well. Still shadow banned on YouTube for the rest of the week, but we'll be back. And these shows will be on there once we do
Yes,
that.
I'll upload all of them once we get back on. Well, we're technically the ban is lifted on Saturday, but we won't be Monday. So
Exactly. True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated, Eager Beaver is our media YouTube channel. If you go there and subscribe, that would help us very much during this time. No reason you still can't. The bottom is our pod page, I believe.
yes, it is.
Subscribe for downloads for podcasts. And that little squiggly thing by Mr. Grizzly's head is our emergency Guinness Caesar hot chocolate farm boy gluten-free chocolate chip ice cream cookie fund, and that's where you can donate if you think that we've done a good job and you'd like to encourage us to do more. That's coffee, ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, lowercase letters, all in one word. From the Beaver Lodge, this is your Eager Beaver saying, until next time, dear kids, it could be a tough world out there, so be kind to and gentle with yourself. Thank you to everyone who pushed me to break a leg. Mr. Grizzly, words of wisdom?
Don't use too much mustache wax.
All right. Mr. Grizzly, roll them credits. You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver media podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum. And the Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
Was it me or did the music oddly speed way up at the end there?
It did.
Okay.
It really did. Because I was dancing and I was over here and then was like, whoa.
I don't know what that was strange. It just went whoop.
Before we go, one quick little Easter egg, kiddies. You did this. This is the first time ever we were on the Apple charts for a full week without interruption. Usually we break off somewhere around Monday because, there's a little gap in episodes. But you kept us on. So new record for us. Thank you.
Thanks, eh?
All right. Have a good day.
See ya.